Welcome to another segment of Blueprints Unsealed. In this segment, we will explore how to unlock the brain's hidden power. No other subject has proven more difficult to study, no other organ shown to be more complex. And even though we learned more about the brain during the last quarter turn of a century than of all human existence, scientists believe that we only touch the surface, the most intriguing aspect of the brain, and what makes this subject unique, and that we are trying to figure out the brain by using our brain's perspective. In short, the brain's attempt to figure out itself. This creates some inherent limitations in what we can truly understand about the brain, mainly because our brain's way of perceiving, thinking, and acting may lead scientists to incorrect conclusions. However, since the advancement of technology, scientists has been able to observe the brain in ways that has never been done before, and because of this, scientists have successfully decoded some of the brain's well-hidden secrets. The biggest secret the scientists has unlocked includes the ability of enhancing our brain's potential by our own efforts. Now, let's delve into how we can best optimize our brains. Albert Einstein is known for his genius mind, a man who single-handedly discovered the theory of relativity, which has helped scientists understand the universe better. This theory also helps explain about black holes, orbits, and movement through space. GPS satellites are an example of a technology that uses the theory of relativity to work properly. Now, coming up with this theory took a massive amount of focus and mental brain power, and according to experts, groundbreaking theories are typically a result of a concerted group effort. Clearly, Einstein was an anomaly. When Einstein died, his brain was examined and compared with brains of a typical adult, 12 samples to be exact. Scientists noted numerous differences between Einstein's brain and that of a typical brain. Most notable, his cerebral cortex, part of the brain responsible for higher order functioning, such as problem solving, planning, and decision making. His cerebral cortex was thinner yet more saturated with neurons. Einstein had a greater amount of glial brain cells to feed the neurons in his brain. And in 1999, scientists discovered that Albert Einstein's inferior parietal lobe, associated with mathematical and spatial reasoning, was 15% wider than that of an average brain, giving him a competitive edge amongst the scientific community. The concepts and ideas of Einstein are not fully understood by the vast majority of the population, even in contemporary times. Geniuses like Galileo and Newton had ideas that most logical people can grasp, but Einstein was an anomaly even among geniuses. Albert Einstein habitually practiced the thought experiment, which are mental exercises that are carried out purely in the mind. The nature of Einstein's work included ideas and subjects that were ahead of his time, and testing these concepts were not feasible in any lab. For example, Einstein's theory of relativity allowed him to predict the presence of black holes, an idea that would not be fully understood until half a century after he predicted it and 10 years following his death. In fact, the first picture ever taken of a black hole was not possible until recently as 2019. The practice of mental experimenting also strengthens the cerebral cortex. However, some of the simplified versions of Einstein's thought experiment to explain gravity will start off with a premise, such as how does the sun's gravity affect a planet's orbit? First, imagine rolling a bowling ball onto a trampoline. You should see the fabric of the trampoline indent where the bowling ball was present. Now, imagine placing a tennis ball on the same trampoline. What do you imagine would happen next? You would observe the tennis ball roll towards the bowling ball, probably colliding with the bowling ball. Now, imagine placing a second bowling ball in a different region of the trampoline. That same tennis ball would probably end up somewhere equidistant from the two bowling balls. This is how Einstein conducted his thought experiment. At this point, you're probably wondering, how did Einstein contribute to his own genius? First, Einstein was known to play the violin, especially when he was working on complex problems that he grappled with, and after playing, he would return to solve the problem. Interestingly, the cerebral cortex, the part of the brain responsible for higher order of thinking, does strengthen when learning how to play a musical instrument, as well as the cerebellum, the part of the brain responsible for all body physical movement, whenever you practice physically by playing an instrument. In fact, scientists claim the Broca area, which is a small part of the cortex which handles many tasks of spoken language and musical abilities, The amount of gray matter of neurons in the Broca's area is larger in musicians than in non-musicians. In fact, the volume of gray matter in this brain region increases as the number of years of playing increases. In most people, the amount of gray matter in the Broca's area decreases with age, but in musicians, this is not the case. There are additional things that can be done in order to unlock the brain's full potential. Number one, the brain needs regular exercise, such as repetition of newly learned tasks. Helps the brain become stronger. These challenges can include learning a new language, listening to classical music, and solving crossword puzzles and playing Sudoku. Neurologists suggest that engaging in new challenges can also help the brain in its defense against the Alzheimer's disease. Regular exercise that concentrates on cardiovascular endurance improves blood flow to the brain. Walking, jogging, or cycling regularly to promote cardiovascular health and overall maintaining a healthy weight. Unlocking the brain's potential requires a healthy way to manage stress, which is caused by cortisol, a body hormone linked to fight or flight reaction, basically the body's survival mechanism. The problem with this hormone, especially during the COVID pandemic, is that many people are being overly exposed to the stimulant, which causes stress. Stress can worsen psychiatric disorders and damage the hippocampus, impairing the ability to store memories and learn new things. Best methods for reducing stress includes meditation, deep breathing exercises, and yoga. Maintain ties with family and close friends. Watch programs that you really enjoy. This releases endorphins, which is the feel-good neurotransmitters. Stay rested by making sure you are getting your required amount of sleep every night. Lastly, physical activity lowers cortisol levels, so make sure to develop a daily exercise routine. And lastly, we're going to touch on unlocking your brain's potential. Comes down to the nutrients that you put in your body. First, it's recommended to eat plenty of fruits and vegetables. Fish is an excellent source of omega-3, which is good for the brain and body. Eating salmon twice a week is a good way to get enough omega-3s in your diet. Drink plenty of water throughout the day and try to reduce your sugar intake. Consider taking a multivitamin supplement, especially if your dieting is not up to par. Unlocking your brain's hidden power is actually not such a difficult goal to accomplish. However, it does require some effort, but at the same time, most people will find the journey exciting and rewarding. Just imagine, if you can be the best version of yourself, how do you think your life will change for the better? Let me know in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed my video and thank you for watching.